This episode is brought to you by our friends at Remainders Creative Reuse. Remainders is a 501c3 nonprofit creative space and arts and crafts reuse store. Located in Pasadena, California, they have a huge variety of art supplies and offer classes. For information about donations and a full list of their classes and events, visit remainderspass.org. Link is in the show notes. R.I.P. Agnès Varda, you would have loved Facebook Marketplace. This is The Gleaners and I.
Do you collect anything?
No. What do you mean?
I don't know, anything.
I try to get a fridge magnet if I go on a trip.
Yeah, that's funny. I used to, our family would go on RV trips as a kid. We would like rent an RV and we would do like, you know, the Midwest or the, you know, like the Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, stuff like that. And we'd go to the Grand Canyon and whatever. And I remember, do you remember that drink Sobe or Sobe? There was like a lizard on the...
Yes.
It's like late 90s.
Oh my God, yeah.
And
the lizard.
They had very like new age names like, oh God, I don't remember, a little bit like Power Bliss or I don't know, something like that.
They had a strawberry kiwi one, which was really good.
And I think they were tea, right? Were they technically tea?
They were all sugar.
But
all sugar.
My sister and I like were obsessed with the glasses for it. So we would go on these RV trips and we would collect all the Sobe bottles and like drink them and keep the glasses. And we tried to get like the whole collection. And I remember we put them in the shower of the RV. And then one time my dad at an RV park like goes to take a shower and we just heard all this glass breaking like, shh. He was like, guys.
That's scary. Why would you put him in the shower?
Because it was the only place that had room at that time. I don't know.
So funny.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Seen and Heard. This is the podcast all about the sight and sound greatest films of all time list. I'm Greg.
I'm Jackie.
And we are, I forgot what number this was on the
67.
list. 67. So for the past few weeks, we've been about at the center of the 2022 list. And this is Agnès Varda's The Gleaners and I. Hey, Jackie.
Hi.
I think this is our third Agnès Varda on the show because very, very early on we did Vagabond, which was your personal print. And then we've done Cleo from 5 to 7. I believe those are the only two before this.
You're right.
So, yeah, this is our next Agnès Varda entry. And again, joins that group of movies on the show that we've done, well, including last week's film, which were made in the 2000s.
Right.
Which is rare for us.
Definitely.
So... anyway, before we get into the film this week, Jackie, what else have you been watching?
I saw Certified Copy, which is a
Abbas
late
Kiarostami
film. Have you ever seen it?
You know, I have not.
It's really interesting. Like, it is so not what you think it's going to be, and it takes such a weird turn. It's just weird, but in a good way. Very unexpected. You start it and you're like, okay, this is like before sunrise romance, but it's not. Like it's I mean, it kind of is, but not. And then I saw Memento for the first time. I've never seen it in my life.
What'd you think?
It's good. Why? Why are you laughing?
No, it's just fun. It's just such a film bro movie.
I know.
And I haven't seen it in like 20 years.
I can tell.
I've never felt the need to go back and rewatch it, but
it just seems so illogical to me. How can he, if he's forgetting, how are those little notes enough? It's not enough. Those tattoos. I don't know. And then I saw Waiting for Guffman, which I'd never seen before.
Oh, did you love it?
I love it. I love it. In fact, I like it more than Best in Show.
Yeah, I got that because it's the whole theater world and everything.
I love it. It's such a riot.
Yeah.
I died.
It's so good.
No, it's so funny.
I love that scene where like, we're going to do a scene from Raging Bull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fred Willard is so great in it.
Oh my God. What about the Dairy Queen? I can always go back to the Dairy
Parker.
Queen.
Yeah.
She is grilling one chicken wing. It's the one chicken wing. Like that type of stuff is so, it's genius. You can't come up with that unless you're like a truly, truly funny person.
Oh yeah.
Like to grill just one chicken wing.
Also, there's
the timing is what it is.
There's that great gag in that movie where Christopher Guest, as in character as the theater director, is advertising the Remains of the Day lunchbox.
Oh my God, I know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. And then I watched Now Voyager because we appeared on a podcast called A Breath of Fresh Movie.
Yes, we did.
We did an episode on Now Voyager, which is a movie I've always loved, and that was fun.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming out. That's our second time on their show, and they've been on our show before too.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Yeah, I've been watching just a lot of noir. So like I rewatched Double Indemnity, which we were talking about off mic. Just perfect movie. Mm-hmm. I rewatched Shutter Island, which is okay. I like the vibes, but the script is it's okay. I did Out of the Past, which stupidly I didn't love the first time I saw it. I thought it was too confusing. And it is very, very twisty. Like there's a lot of plot stuff in there, but this time I loved it. Whereas the first time I saw it, I didn't love it. But the cast is pretty much perfect, where it's like Robert Mitchum, Kirk Douglas, and Jane Greer. Like, come on. It's perfect. And like it was shot around Lake Tahoe. Like Lake Tahoe is in it. LA's in it. San Francisco's in it. It's just like, oh. So you kind of get some city noir stuff, but then you get small town noir, and it's like, it's kind of like everything it's got the voiceover. It's just perfect. And then I also rewatched the Coen Man Who Wasn't There, which I hadn't seen in a long time. And I remember not really thinking much about it. And now that I'm on this big noir kick, like revisiting it, I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, this is so good. That's me.
Great.
From 2000, this is Agnès Varda's The Gleaners and I.
The Gleaners and I was released in 2000. It was written and directed by Agnès Varda. Cinematography by Didier Dussin, Stephanie Krauss, Didier Rouget, Pascal Sautelet, and Agnès Varda. Music by Joanna Brusdowicz. In this documentary, Agnès Varda explores the world of gleaning, which is the practice of collecting crops left behind in fields after the official harvest. She travels to the countryside and meets people who were raised in and around gleaning culture, catching them in the middle of a huge potato harvest. She talks to drifters who glean out of necessity, a Michelin-starred chef who gleans for fun and hates wasting food, rebellious youth, winemakers who don't allow gleaners in wine country, one of whom is the great-grandson of Etienne Jules Marais, who is the father of the chronophotographic gun. She has lawyers explain the various gleaning laws and explores urban gleaning, artists who use trash in their artwork, all the while reflecting on herself as a gleaner of images and ideas and contemplating her age. She ends the film with Alan, an educated urban gleaner who gets most of his food from the refuse of street markets and volunteers teaching French to immigrants. The film was shot from September 1999 to April 2000, usually in 2-week intervals. She would then edit her footage and move on to the next 2-week interval of shooting. Her method for finding subjects was simple. She would ask everyone she knew to talk to everyone they knew. She called the process of making this film cinécriture, which basically means cinema writing. She basically credits the film as being the result of chance. From the shots she chose to the music to the narration, it all kind of depended on the interactions she had with people. She has, of course, that dance of the lens cap and the heart-shaped potato, the painting of the gleaners she finds, like those were all happy accidents that she likes to credit. The film was shot on a Sony TRV 900 mini DV camcorder. It was her first use of digital photography. The film opened out of competition at the Cannes Film Festival and later had its North American premiere at TIFF. She made a sequel called The Gleaners and I 2 years later. That's the name of the title, but it was 2 years later. In 2014, Sight and Sound released a top 50 best documentaries list, and this was number 8. And this is considered a key film in the digital documentary movement and very influential in showing how Filmmakers can integrate themselves into documentary stories. That's basically all I have.
Well, it's interesting to note, too, I think this is the 7th non-fiction film we've done on the show.
How do you know
Because I went through every episode we've done. And here are the other ones, okay? So Man with a Movie Camera, Showa, Sans Soleil, Close Up, which that one is on the line. Like, that doesn't truly count, but I feel like was worth mentioning. Histoire du Cinema. And News from Home, most recently.
And if you look at all of those, none of them are really traditional docs.
No.
Like, they're all...
None of them.
Film essays, essentially.
Yeah.
Showa kind of, maybe.
Yeah, I guess it's the most
But it doesn't use
traditional.
any, like, archival footage. Traditional meaning that it's just straight interviews and, like, the people in the places kind of showing you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that guy on the boat. But again, it's very constructed, right?
Yes.
It's like, okay, as a kid, yeah, he was forced to sing in this forest. Let's put him in a boat in this beautiful river. And, like, you know.
Yeah.
Or people at work talking to him while they're at work. Like, I remember The Barber. Damn, that movie's crazy. So good.
I mean, yeah, it stands as one.
I think it's the best.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think
best.
it's the greatest piece of nonfiction.
Let me tell
filmmaking.
you what's at the top of that list. So this is the critics' 50 greatest documentaries of all time. Number 1 is Man with a Movie Camera, which I don't even really think is a documentary. It's a film essay. It's a symphony. I don't know.
But they're using documentary to just say nonfiction.
I guess Showa's number 2. I would put Showa first.
Yes.
Like, come on, guys.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I think Man with a Movie Camera is probably number 1 just because of how influential it is. But yeah, I agree. Showa should be number 1.
And then Sans Soleil.
Is number 3?
Mm-hmm. Number 4 is Night and Fog, which I haven't seen.
The Alan Rene
Yes.
film. Yeah. Also about the Holocaust.
Yes. Number 5 is The Thin Blue Line.
Okay. Errol Morris.
Number 6 is Chronicle of a Summer, which is a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very fun. Number 7 is Nanook of the North, which is classic.
Yeah, I love it.
Number 8 is Gleaners and I. Number 9 is Don't Look Back.
Okay. Bob Dylan.
Yep. And then there's 2 number 9s. It's Grey Gardens. And then there's no number 10, but number 11 is The Sorrow and the Pity.
Oh, yeah. That's the famous movie that I think it's about the Third Reich, but in Annie Hall, the running joke in that movie is that he takes every date to see The Sorrow and the Pity, and it's like 5 hours long or something.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's that list of the top 50 docs.
Interesting.
This is number, what did I say?
7? 7 or 8?
8.
8. Well, yeah, what are your initial thoughts?
This is my second time seeing this. I think it's really delightful. I think it's lovely. Do I think it should be number 67 on the greatest films of all time? No. And this is one of those movies where I feel confident. Everyone knows I love her to death. Like, she's one of my girls, but Vagabond isn't even on the top 100. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Vagabond is 101. But it's a delightful movie. I'm not here to just talk about why I don't think that was just the initial thing that popped out to me.
Yeah.
Is like, I think we need to get the elephant out of the room. I don't know how you feel, but I've seen documentaries that are, I don't know. But I do love how the whole thing is centered around people's motivations for or against gleaning, and there's like no judgment, and it's taking us all over France. And it's just a really good reminder of like the amount we waste. Like, I think it's a really important movie. I think everyone should see it. Well, then maybe it should be on the list, Jackie. That's not what I mean. And I do like how she ties it back to herself. It's called The Gleaners and I. And it's not an obvious choice to make the connection there between like whatever she was going through, which seems to be like aging, and gleaning. But we'll talk about that in a second. So I think that's really interesting. That's my initial thought. What about you? You're very quiet.
Well, I wanted to give you your stage because it's initial thoughts time. I'm very similar to you. I think we're in a very similar boat on this one. I think top 100 is really stretching it. Agnès Varda, again, I love her. I think most of her body of work, it's like she's one of those people like Herzog where half of her films were narrative, the other half were non-narrative. Or half of them are fiction, the other half are nonfiction. Like she just as easily and prolifically dabbled in documentaries, whether short form or long form, as she did in like, you know, her famous, you know, fiction movies like Cleo and Vagabond and all that stuff, La Bonheur, all that stuff. I agree with you. I mean, I think Vagabond is the superior movie, and I think although Vagabond is not about aging, which this movie has in it, but I do think a lot of themes in this movie she'd already done, like, 15 years prior with Vagabond, and I think Vagabond touches on them in a more cinematically proficient way.
Yeah.
And again, I hate to just keep comparing the two of them, but there are a lot of similarities.
Of course, the drifting, the kind of fringes of society.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I would swap them out. I would put Vagabond on the top 100. You know, it's funny because this movie, it is delightful.
Yeah,
it's delightful.
I have no complaints.
It's breezy.
I have no complaints.
You know, it's a great watch, and I think it's even a great watch for people who don't love documentaries or like even foreign films. Like if they're one of those people like, oh, I don't want to read subtitles. Yeah. Like, yeah, watch The Gleaners and I. It's a good time.
It is.
and you know, but I think too, at the end of the day, it is kind of about her, which I like, which is a strength of the movie. But the subjects of the film, you never are with anyone long enough to really get into them. I found one of the most interesting people, the guy who lost his wife and kids. He used to be a truck driver. I think once it starts getting into people like him, I almost wanted to stay with him. And maybe that's just my own. I do like, though, that this movie is this mosaic. I
do like the mosaic aspect of it. Of like, okay, here's one perspective. Here's a completely different perspective. And I love how it goes from that guy and those kind of nomads straight to a Michelin star chef. And you think that it's going to be the opposite. You think he's going to be like, oh no, like I have nothing to do with gleaning. And he's like, nope, I love gleaning.
Yeah.
And it's great. I love that about it.
What's interesting is that Varda is so clearly pro-gleaning.
Yes.
That like the title is interesting because you'd almost think it would just be called The Gleaners because she's a gleaner herself.
Right.
In her art and everything. And that the separation is interesting.
Well, it's interesting because it's about her too. So I think it's necessary that she's saying and I. But in French, it's actually like, it's le glaneur et la glaneuse. So like, gleaners and a female gleaner.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. I think Agnès Varda, because she's one of those filmmakers from that golden time. You know, she got her start in the late 50s, early 60s. She was a prominent figure of the French New Wave and was really part of this golden era of this like art house international boom in cinema. And I think she's one of those people who managed to stay relevant and sort of reinvent herself with the times. And even up until she died, what was it, Faces, Places or something? Like her movies were still getting a lot of attention. Unlike someone like Godard, where I feel like people kind of ignored a lot of his stuff after the 70s, where they're just like, okay, dude, like, I don't care. Because I remember him releasing some like 3D movie at a film festival and like everyone said it sucked.
Well, when did Histoire du Cinéma come out?
I think it was the 80s.
Completed in 1998.
But I just think that Agnès Varda, like, it's impressive that she managed to stay relevant for so long. And I think, like, she's a true kind of, like, she was born to be a filmmaker.
Absolutely.
You know, like, nothing could ever stop her from being a filmmaker. And even when, like, the French New Wave was so over and dead, and it's like she's still out there making movies, and even if they're little personal movies made with a digital camera, and I love the way that she embraces the technology.
I was gonna say it's very I'm very drawn to that, the way that she embraces the technology. Even her production company logo at the start, she changed it to like a big gold desktop.
Yes,
and it's that.
Yeah, and her cat is resting on the computer, the monitor.
Right.
I love her logo, by the way.
I love her logo too. I'm also very glad. So, like, this list obviously came out. This is on the 2022 list. She passed away in 2019. So it could be that people were just very much missing her. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
You mean its inclusion on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's just the most universally recognized of her nonfiction work. Because she has so much. Like, it's like there's one about the Black Panthers and murals and Faces, Places. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. I mean, I think the movie has a great message about waste and how much space you're sort of taking up in the world and all that stuff, which is very important and very tied into this week's sponsor, Remainders.
Yes.
It's so funny, like, because it is a true creative reuse and it's like what people aren't using. And
if you want to be a gleaner, come to Remainders. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah. But I just think I'll say I love this stuff in this movie where it is about her aging, like when she's showing her hands, even when she's kind of closing her hands on the trucks, like she's grabbing them as she passes them. I do think that like the moment with the lens cap kind of screams of like your old aunt who just kind of like doesn't really know how to work the camera.
Oh my God.
I think her making a dance out of it and like this accidental footage she got of like the lens cap swinging around like is a little much. I was like, I would have cut that.
It's kind of cute because it's the dance of the clippers right before it's those people's clippers and then the lens cap.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that because it's interesting. Like the whole thing is like, okay, the waste that humans make and how things get old, but then some people don't think they're that old and they still eat them and stuff. And then it's connected to her aging and time passing and the big thing, like it's, but I like how she uses this concept of gleaning. Like she says from the start, like the posture hasn't faded, like you bend down and gather up, but it's changed in that people don't do it in groups anymore and it's all individual. In the past, it was always in groups, she says, and all those paintings and stuff. And I do like how it's like now we're more solitary. We're more ashamed of it now. Like that's a really good indicator of just how times have changed.
Yeah.
Of just like it is a little shameful to go and like
because
pick
now
up people's leftovers.
Right now, people associate it with homeless, with the unhoused.
Exactly.
It's like going through trash cans and stuff.
Exactly.
Especially in this country.
But yeah, mostly it is this huge theme of like the Agnès Varda of it all and how she feels about aging and time passing. There's that whole part about souvenirs from Japan and then it gets into her hands and that Rembrandt self-portrait. She even says she's like everything's a self-portrait.
Mm-hmm.
One hand films the other. That's what this project is about.
Yeah.
And even when she's doing the trucks, she's saying like to capture what? Time passing? No, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
Like she's like poking fun at herself, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then the clock with no hands, of course.
Yeah, that's great.
That's great too.
That's like the image of the movie.
But it is an interesting connection to make because it's really not obvious. So I love that. But yeah, let's talk about your guy. We don't even know their names. That's another thing. She doesn't know their names.
Which I like.
I like that too.
Yeah. It's extraneous information at that point. It's just like...
Well, there's first the country people who it's like very accepted. Because they live in the countryside and they know that there's so much left over and they can go to the fields themselves. And then it goes to those nomads, essentially, those drifters, those vagabonds, if you will. And it's so funny because there's those two guys who live in a trailer who kind of drink.
Kinda? They're talking about drinking 30 beers a day. Each.
And then there's the other women who are like, we're different from them. Like, they're hobos living in trailers. But I'm like, how are you guys different? So that part's great.
Right. Yeah, they live in the same little camp.
I love that. But then you also have like that cute couple who she's just asking them about how they met.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones who are like in a little town and they gleaned, their parents gleaned during the war and all that. And so that's really sweet too. I mean, I think that she's just kind of made for this
I think too,
exploration of people. Like that's just what she does.
Totally. And I like that. I like how kind of loose it is. Like, yeah, it's all focused around gleaning, but she will always take the opportunity to go down a detour of like, yeah, that story of how that couple met or whatever. And it's like, she's just interested in people first and foremost. And what I like about this is it's like the universality of it. It's like all these people that glean, it's all types. It's like, it's everyone. Right. And no, I do love the kind of freewheeling feel of this movie a lot.
Yeah. There's also the judges. They're lawyers, I think.
One is a lawyer and one is like a council member,
magistrate,
yeah, something, yeah.
But they're fun.
Yeah.
I like having the urban one and then the one in the country.
Yeah,
those are really fun.
yeah.
She even, speaking of like tangents, she goes on, that guy who's the father of the, what is it even called? Chrono photographic gun. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I hadn't heard of that.
I
before.
haven't heard of him, but it's essentially like the foundations of moving pictures.
Yeah.
And she has that line about like, I'm glad to be a descendant of him.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
There's something about, yeah, she's someone in her old age who is just very like of the earth and very grateful to be alive and very much just like, it's like you want to grow into when you get old, you want to be like Agnès Varda, where she still has so much wonder for the world and curiosity and also just like a gratefulness.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I like that. And it's like willing to, through these people, through the exploration, she's willing to kind of go anywhere of like, you know, like that guy.
Yeah, and there's also those teenagers who kind of vandalized and also stole from the trash. And it's funny that they're also in it. And they all have dreadlocks, by the way.
Well, because it's easy to keep clean.
I guess. But they are literally the characters from Vagabond.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Vagabond. So, I mean, I guess spoilers for Vagabond really quick if you haven't seen it, but you should. Is that movie does not end well for our leading lady.
Our leading lady.
It does not end well.
It doesn't start well. She starts dead.
She starts dead. That's true. You know from the beginning. So it's not even really a spoiler. But she dies in a ditch. Oh, and this movie
so fucking sad.
Is a much more sympathetic view. I mean, not that Vagabond is very sympathetic, but it's almost like partly a cautionary tale or like, oh, people who are marginalized, like this is what often happens to them. Whereas in this film, again, it's kind of a similar crowd, at least some of the people in this movie. But it's like, okay, here. Like no one's dying in a ditch, freezing to death in a ditch here.
Right. Even the people who are, you know, gleaning to survive, essentially.
Yeah.
And then there's all the artists as well who make all that stuff and collect like fridges and stoves. And those guys that's a fun couple.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not actually a couple, but like the guy that basically lives with the other guy, but he brings him these like stoves and fridges and they're interesting characters. And then there's that weird guy who says, and this was when I was like, nope. He's like, I don't care about people croaking in their apartments. Birds first.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, nope.
Yeah, birds specifically.
When he's talking about the oil spill. And he's weird, right?
I mean, yeah.
And he's like wearing boots, rubber boots. And he's like, it's just because of the waste. Look at this cheese. It says it's old, but it's not.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people in this movie are maybe a little eccentric, but I think that guy, I understood what he was saying. I don't necessarily think he's saying a bird's life is worth more than a human's, but I can feel his anger with the way we're treating this country, because oil spills still happen all the time and they are catastrophic. And yeah, think about all the marine life and
it's terrible.
It's terrible. Like we could really get dark with this, but like humans are a plague on the earth. We don't give anything to the earth. We only take. So, you know, eventually we will be the death of this planet, as it's proven. You know, I think we just had our hottest winter on record. You know, we're recording this in early April, but the last few months for us, which even in LA typically is a little cooler. Like you'll get a couple hot days, but we had 2 weeks of like 90 plus degree heat in like February, March, which never in my 12 years of living here, I've never seen anything like this. And we're on a downward trajectory, you know, like we don't, people can only think of themselves. I think, you know, we're just here to take, we're here to consume. And that's, I get that guy's anger because I'm also angry, but what are you going to do?
Do you like the part where she raps?
Wait, does Agnès rap?
She was rapping.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's funny.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. There were a couple, like some of those rap songs where it's like, the shit, like get the shit in the gutter. And I'm like, like she's trying maybe a little hard to be like cutting edge. But no, I mean, who doesn't want Agnès Varda for like an aunt? She would have been the perfect aunt, you know?
I know.
But no, I think, do you buy used stuff ever?
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by used?
Anything. Like,
I love antique stores.
How do you contribute to the whole gleaning movement?
I love antique stores. I actually really love Facebook Marketplace a lot.
Yeah, we've been using it a lot recently, getting rid of stuff.
It's great. I buy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't glean food.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, you're right. In this country, especially, it's not a flattering thing in this day and age. I mean, if you're going through a dumpster for food, it's not, Yeah. It's a certain kind of look for sure. But yeah, I mean, it is true. A lot of these places, I think, most of your life, if you go to a bakery at the end of the day, or you go to here, like, I guess some people go to a Little Caesars at the end of the day and they're like, hey, do you have any hot and readies that didn't sell? And they'll like give them to you.
Do they actually?
Mm-hmm.
There was also a Krispy Kreme. This came up the other day. My brother was talking about it, how one time he was near the Ralphs in Westwood. That's where it was, because he was a student. And the Krispy Kreme truck came, and essentially they were just like, free donuts. Like, these are just like what didn't sell. And a lot of unhoused people came up, but he also went and took a dozen.
Yeah, they're offering free donuts.
So that's funny. That just came up. Everything comes back. He told me about this a few days ago before I even realized we were doing this movie. That's so funny.
There you go.
I know.
Everything's tied into ping pong.
I know.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I also, it's funny. I wouldn't say I buy a lot of used stuff. I do actually get some stuff from Remainders. I buy some stuff here. But I think there was a certain standard where things used to just be, the craftsmanship on things was much higher, and things were genuinely designed to last for life or for many, many, many years. And then I think all the companies realized that wasn't profitable, and that things should be designed to break after a while so that you have to rebuy it. And so there's a comfort in buying something like an old dresser that was made 50, 100 years ago that's like built to last in a way that like nothing really is now. Like nothing is built to last. And so yeah, I will buy, I mean, like you, I like antiques and stuff, but yeah, also buy the occasional, go thrifting or whatever is.
I buy all my books used.
Oh, okay.
It's also way cheaper.
Yeah. You have what, Abe books or something? What do you use?
They sell it through eBay, Abe books.
Oh, okay.
So I usually do that. eBay's great. I love eBay.
This new thing called eBay.
I eat eBay up. I buy Blu-rays used from eBay.
But you like check the seller out first and everything, right? Like the reviews and how many ratings they have, or do you not care?
Yeah. And I only do it if it's free shipping.
Right. As an eBay seller, I always include the free shipping because I know how it just looks better.
It does.
You just build the cost into the item.
Absolutely.
So you just raise it by a couple bucks.
So I do that. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm a middle child, so I gleaned all my life on clothes and...
Right, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, you an older sister.
I had a lot of hand-me-downs.
Yeah, and that's interesting too, as we get ready for a baby who's coming next month. It's like also getting a lot of hand-me-downs from him. Like we got a free stroller. It's like when people have a baby and then the baby outgrows stuff, they're very eager to like unload it to pass it on to the next person. So like we've gotten a free bassinet, a free stroller, that's like a bunch of free clothes, and like so that it feels good to be part of that like process in that way.
Yeah.
Because look, we have a finite amount of resources on this planet, And
it really was impressive just seeing the amount of potatoes. I mean, impressive in like in a bad way.
Oh, what's dumped?
Yeah. Like that. They said how many tons?
Yeah.
And also the apples. There were so many apples.
Grapes.
I loved all the stuff in like the fields, and that was kind of my favorite part.
The fields? I mean, that's most of the movie, right?
Not really.
Oh.
I'd say it's about 30%.
You think? I think it's more than that.
Really?
But yeah, no, I loved, it's crazy that so many and also seeing the attitudes of the people of like, oh no, we're not going to tell people. Like, we just dump it. We don't care. Like, we're not going to tell people. And even if they're kind of miffed, like, no, we don't really want people coming here. And then other places like, no, of course anyone can come and take this stuff. And then other places in the middle who are like, people can take this, but only on certain days, and we have to have their license plate numbers.
Yeah.
So,
and then there was not allowed in wine country, right? That's what I understood. Or like very little, or it was very regulated.
Yeah.
But you could only grow so much. They said something about if you want a vintage, then there's a limit of how much you can actually grow.
Right.
So yeah, it's just fascinating. It's a delightful and fascinating movie. Let's talk about Alan though, because she really gives him special attention at the end. And he's going around to the street markets of Paris. It's so funny. I mean, I was in Paris. Like, I went to Paris 2 years in a row these past 2 years. And obviously you see the street markets, but I never stuck around to see, like, I didn't know they looked like that after, like, when everyone left. And so that was really fascinating.
Well, and then the extra wrinkle you get with him of him teaching for free.
Yeah. Like, that's really sweet. He made me feel bad about myself.
Well, I really,
I'm joking, but
he's a great person to kind of end the movie on, because he is the person that he's taking and then he's giving back to.
He's doing both.
Yeah.
He's taking and then he's giving for free. He's letting other people glean off of his knowledge, essentially, and sharing. And I think that's what the movie's all about. And I think that's what Agnès Varda just wanted to do her whole life, was like collect. Like she even said, I'm a collect ideas and images. But then she's giving it back. Obviously, it's not free to watch a movie, but...
Yeah. I mean, everyone that worked on it needs to get paid.
True.
Making a movie is usually pretty miserable.
Don't I know it? But I know I love it, and I love ending with him, and it's really interesting because he doesn't explain why he's living in immigrant housing. He doesn't explain why he has a master's degree and he used to be a teaching assistant, but now he's selling magazines. He doesn't really say.
Yeah.
Whereas the guy who was a trucker said that he got pulled over and got a DUI.
Yeah.
So
there has to be something else at play there, because he's like
Alan, right? Yeah.
Well, no, for the trucker.
Oh.
Because like you don't just get a DUI and then your wife leaves you and takes the kids and moves 500 miles away. Like there has to be. I'm sure he had other stuff going on. Unless it was the case of like he lost his job and was not able to work again or whatever. But
it was probably the last straw.
Yeah, it was probably the last straw. He probably was already,
It's so hard. It's so sad.
Yeah. But no, the movie has a very empathetic eye and doesn't judge anyone. And even someone like him, like you hear this guy's side of the story. You don't know what his wife's side of the story is. And like,
right.
Maybe he just doesn't really care to be involved in their lives. Like maybe she gave him a chance and he was like, no, I'm not going to move over there. I'm just going to stay here.
Well, he said, I think about them every day.
Well, yeah, you can still think about them every day and be in the wrong.
True.
I'm not here to pass judgment on this guy.
Is there wrong?
I'm not. But yeah, you just, she has a very sympathetic eye, and
yeah,
it's much needed in a movie like this, or I think any documentary, to be sympathetic.
There's a lot of art in this movie too. Like she goes and sees all those paintings. Mm-hmm. She even goes and sees that huge Last Judgment. I don't know what that is, a fresco, which really has nothing to do with gleaning, but it's just interesting. It's a meandering movie. It definitely meanders, but never in a bad way.
And because it's like 82 minutes long, her meanderings are welcome. Like it doesn't feel...
the sequel's 2 hours.
Really?
Isn't it crazy that the sequel's longer?
I tried to, because I have that Agnès Varda set. I think you do too, right?
Yeah.
And on the same disc as this is the sequel, and I was going to watch that also in preparation for this episode, but I just didn't have time.
I know. I wish I could just stay home and watch movies all day. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
I know. And then I opened that box and I'm like, I haven't seen this Jane Birkin movie and I really want to. So I think I'll watch that next. Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think the Criterion has everything she's done in it. I think. But there's a lot of movies of hers I have not seen.
She has a lot.
Is your favorite Vagabond?
Yeah, I think so. But Cleo too. I really love Cleo. I'll watch Cleo any day.
Yeah.
I can't watch Vagabond any day.
True.
Sad.
Yes.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sight and sound?
My favorite sight is I forget we don't know his name, but the chef So there's a shot when he's walking towards the camera, like out of his restaurant, and he's like holding a pumpkin and smiling.
Yeah, that's so cute. And I love how she described him, a very young, very kind chef. Like, he's so cute.
That's my sight. What about you?
For sight, I went, actually, funnily enough, even though I said I love everything in the fields, the last shot of the painting in the wind, but it's only because it's windy, is that it works so good, because the canvas is kind of floating and there's wind in the painting.
It's like animated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of happy accident that's just like, wow. So that's me. What about sound?
Sound, it's when Agnès Varda has a piece of fruit. I forget exactly what it is, but she's like, look at this juicy...
Fig.
Oh, it's a fig, yeah. And she's like, look at this juicy piece of fruit. I don't know, she just seems so happy with it. So here it is.
Regarde-moi ça, c'est merveille de la nature. Toute crevée, belle.
Figs are very ethereal.
Going back, it's a little connection to our Women in Love episode, which has a whole fig scene.
Because they're so ancient and they're so delicious and they're so pretty. Like, it's like...
And in the case
really
of that,
special.
they get turned sexual in Women in Love.
They are sexual.
Yeah. Like, explicitly so. Just that Alan Bates speech in Women in Love about the fig is just an all-timer. What's your favorite sound?
It's when the judge is explaining about gleaning, and he says that there's some kind of law where it's like it's allowed for people who lack a type of sustenance or, need sustenance. And she goes, what about the people who do it for fun? And he says this.
Bien, c'est comme s'ils avaient besoin de quelque chose pour manger. S'ils glanent par plaisir, c'est qu'ils ont besoin de quelque chose pour leur plaisir. Alors, si les principes sont respectés, si les heures sont respectées, ils peuvent glaner comme les pauvres d'autrefois.
He says, if they glean for pleasure, then they lack a certain pleasure.
Yeah.
Which is just so nice.
Yeah. I don't think we have those same laws here.
I think that if it's on the ground, like, you can pick it up.
Yeah, but you can't go on people's property here. Here in the States, we're so like, get off my property,
It's so funny. So my dad is actually, he has a farm.
That's right. That's right.
He grows, he used to grow raisins. Now he grows almonds in Fresno, California. And my grandparents used to literally, we would be driving in Fresno and they would pull the car over and go and pick shit off of other people's farms. But mostly they would try to take from the ground, but I've seen them pick. And I would have to look out.
You were the lookout.
Guys, you could just go to the farmer's market. So yeah, you can pick it up off the ground, I believe. But I don't know about entering other people's property. Yeah, we did it illegally. Or they did. I don't want to be grouped in with them. With my grandma and grandpa.
The farm your dad has, did he start it or was it passed down to him?
No, he started it.
Oh, okay.
In the 90s, he was a very interesting young man and he loved he wanted to be a cowboy. He wanted to live in Texas.
Really?
He was so not a city. He is not a city dweller, even though he is. He lies. But he loves country life, so he went and bought a farm of raisins, and he had no idea how to do anything. And the realtor was like, oh, my brother-in-law and my husband, they're family farmers, they'll teach you. And she was Armenian and we're Armenian, so she's like, just come over. And that became his best friend.
Oh, wow.
It's one of his best friends, and he taught him, how to do everything.
Oh, cool.
So that's my dad's farming story.
So wait, now how much time does he spend at the farm?
Not much. It's mostly a hobby,
right?
To be honest.
So he has people there.
He has one guy that kind of runs it. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Who lives there with his family and runs it. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's fun. If you ever want to go, we can.
So you're used to a certain standard of raisin.
I hate raisins.
You hate raisins?
That's the problem.
No.
But the grapes, so we would always pick some before they turn into raisins, and they're called Thompson seedless grape.
Right, it's a special kind of grape, right?
Ones.
Yeah.
And they're delicious.
Oh, as grapes, they're delicious.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh, okay. I always assumed they were like not great as grapes, which is why they were turned into raisins.
No. And then he has almonds now, which are delicious. I do love almonds.
Does he sell a lot of almonds to like for almond milk and stuff, like to be pressed?
Yeah, well, he sells to one company, which is his other best friend. So it's like basically his best friends are all like agriculture people.
Amazing.
Because that's just who he likes. So one of his other best friends who works at a nut company, and he sells him everything.
Nice.
And they do everything. They do like, the blue, is it called Blue Diamond? That's them.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
So your dad distributes to Blue Diamond?
No, he distributes to the nut company that then supplies Blue Diamond.
I see. I didn't know all that. I knew he had a farm.
Take this all out.
No, I'm keeping it in.
He loves agriculture. Yeah, he loves growing stuff.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun. It was fun to grow up around.
I think a lot of people have a fantasy of like giving it all up and moving and starting a farm or something.
That's absolutely his.
I think
absolutely his.
A lot of people, because I know people who have done it or are doing it now, and they're always surprised how much work it is, to live off the land. Well, I think too, if you specialize in one thing and you're just doing the thing, but then I know a lot of people were like
completely live off the land. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think farming some kind of crop or fruit or vegetable or whatever would be fun, but I feel like as soon as animals are involved and you have to kill them,
that's hard.
I would not be able to do it.
We have a chicken coop, but we just use it for eggs.
Nice. Fresh eggs.
They're good. But he would love this movie.
You should show it to him.
I know, I should.
Well, this is normally where we would do Pauline Kael. But yeah, she died right around this time, so there's not a review that exists that Pauline Kael did. I don't know what she would have thought of it. Maybe, actually, Pauline Kael, I mean, again, she's from a different era, and I think...
Our non-PC queen?
Yeah, I think she almost would have, like, what are we watching this movie with these people?
No, I don't think so. She can be very...
judgmental.
Old school.
Yeah.
Let's call her old school.
But we do have all of the lovely Letterboxd users. So I have one here. Let's start with the nice ones. 4 stars. I hope to someday be as content as Agnès Varda, collecting heart-shaped potatoes and rapping in her own films.
I also pulled that. And then another person said Agnès Varda's first Instagram story.
Totally. She would have loved it.
Yeah.
4 stars. More French rap music than I was expecting.
This is 5 stars, and it says, Varda doesn't do anger, but this is her most righteous and outraged work, all sourced from her boundless empathy.
Oh, I don't think it's her most outraged.
She has one about the Black Panthers.
Yeah, no, absolutely not at all. 4 stars. Pretty much the main movie to watch if you want to see a big pile of potatoes. True.
4 stars. Cinema peaked at the 8th shot of a potato.
5 stars. How are you going to make a film about people cleaning fields this good?
It's true. Okay, 0.5 star. Genuinely is something I'd fall asleep to in high school environmental science class, but they gave it a heart.
I pulled that one too. Yeah, there's a lot of those. This one, 0.5 star. Would have been better if I just shoved my head in a bin for an hour instead of watching this shit.
Oh my God. Okay, this person needs to be canceled. 1 star. I only gave it more than 0.5 star because I get the overall message behind the film, but goddamn was that hard to get through, and I hated the director.
What? What? I don't understand that at all.
I don't understand that either.
This is my favorite one. 0.5 star. The #1 cause of film student suicide in America.
What? It's not. That's crazy. It's really not.
I just don't understand.
There's longer and more boring movies that film students have to sit through.
Yes, this isn't boring.
I don't think it is.
I guess if you describe the premise to like a student, you'd be like, yeah, it's about gleaners. But like, it's about human life.
Yeah. Idiots.
Anyway. Well, this was the Gleaners and I. We'll be doing some gleaning right after this, maybe. I don't know.
We'll go downstairs.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, we are at Remainders right now.
Yeah, they have it is kind of an all-in-one. There's a whole arts, there's a creative space upstairs in which they have a studio that we've been recording in. So, so next week we are doing our second to last film on the 2022 Top 100 list. It is Daughters of the Dust.
Which was just at Vidiots.
It was just a Vidiots. But neither you or I have seen this.
No.
So this will
That'll
be a
be
first
fun.
watch for us. So yeah, that's next week. So come back and join us for that. Until then, I'm Greg.
I'm Jackie.
And we'll see you next time.
Keep gleaning.
Seen and Heard is an official podcast of the Arroyo Film Club. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to drop us a line, you can find us on email at hello@seenandheardpod.com or on Instagram @seenandheardpod.